Hi, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. I am finally back home for a little while. I have been in Las Vegas with my sister helping her out with recovery from a medical procedure. I don't like to drive, and driving in Las Vegas was fun. Anyway, I'm home and I am ready to get back to scrapbooking most definitely. So I am working on Christmas in November. This is a monthly hop that we do all year long. We do have a playlist and it is listed down below in my description box. It will hold all of the videos for the year in it. So there'll be a couple of mine and other people's on there as well. So if you need Christmas inspiration, this is a one-stop place to grab it. You can just hit play and just let it play through and you have all kinds of beautiful Christmas inspiration coming your way. So I am using an older 49 and Market collection called Vintage Artistry Noel. It is from 2020 and I would say that it is probably not actually a full collection because it only came with the papers that are on my desk. Remove these. And then 2 sheets of 12 by 12 pop out laser cuts and some other papers. So I have already gone through this little collection and have chosen what I want to use. Got one piece of background paper and another piece that I am considering using for matting my photos. And then I pulled some wood veneer from this little box that I keep in my Christmas stuff. This is one of few themed things that I have in my scrapbook room. I mostly organize by manufacturer and designer, but I do have a few themed and Christmas would be one of those. So I have some pictures of my 2 youngest. This is Seth and Emily. You've seen lots of their pictures over the 2 years that I have been recording. And this set of pictures is, we had them open these presents together because they were the same present. And we didn't want one to open a brand new iPad and case and go, hey, where's mine kind of thing. So, and I don't know if they would have actually done that, but we did have them open them together. I took their pictures together. If you are new here, I tend to scrapbook a layout per child for opening presents and one per child and adult for stockings if I have the adults' photos. I don't always have a bunch of photos of the adults. I spend more time taking photos of kids. And so then I've got some punch out pieces from those laser die cuts that you saw, just kind of trying to decide what I'm going to use. I also have this set of titles here, and I think I have a title in mind on those that I'm going to use. 3 photos, 2 sheets of paper. I'm going to pause. We're going to get started. I'll be right back.
All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the branding strips off my pattern paper. One of those branding strips I will set aside, this one here, and the one off the red sheet, I'm going to use part of it for my title, the part that says Merry and Bright. I'm going to use that as part of my title. My full title will be Merry and Bright Christmas, and I'll use the word Christmas that you can see on that set of thickers that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Now I am cutting this paper down by 4 1/4 by 12, and then I'm going to cut the 12-inch piece down to 3 1/4 so that I have 3 mats and I have some little extra pieces that I'll set aside for another time. I've cut apart my photos and I'm just going to line these photos up, but first off I'm going to take my Tim Holtz Distress tool and I'm going to distress a bunch of the things. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I've been gone for the last week and my kitties are very happy to have me home and won't let me out of my sight. So Jasper has come to join us, and as long as he stays there out of my way on top of my mat, I'll leave him there. I think he actually gets up and moves on his own at some point, but Anyway, so I am just distressing the edges of the photo mats, and then I'm going to adhere the photos onto the mat, or the mats, and I'm going to set them aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and distress some of that laser cut ephemera that I pulled out to use for this layout. And I do use everything that I pulled out and that is set over to the left-hand side of my mat. I use every single piece of it. I wasn't sure that I was going to, but I actually did, and I was quite proud of myself. So here's where I take off the Merry and Bright from that branding strip. The rest of that branding strip I just tossed, and I'm trimming off a little bit of the edge. That piece of pattern paper was not 12 by 12. It was a little bit longer, so when I cut it down to 12 by 12, some of the branding strip had a little bit of the red on it. That doesn't happen very often with 49er Market, so I was actually kind of surprised. So I am going to be using the pattern paper this way, the way I have it turned here. I'm going to line up these photos just like you see them. And I'm going to start by adding some of the laser die cut floral and leafy bits onto that left hand side, and then I get kind of sidetracked because I want to go ahead and work on layering up behind these photos. So I am distressing these two little frames. At first I thought that I might cut down the pictures and put the pictures in there, but I realized that it would cover up the fact that the kids are holding and opening presents in the photos. So I end up just layering these frames behind the top and the bottom photo. And the middle photo, I've laid a frame on top of it. That frame will also go underneath the photo and not on top of it like that I have right now. It fits, but I just covered up all of the red matting, and I decided that I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just scuff up all of these edges of the flat pieces, the rectangular pieces that I'm going to be using for layering. I'm not going to try to scuff up any of the floral bits because I don't want to rip them. Now I'm having a little bit of trouble scuffing up the edges of the larger frame, and that's because it's very thin. And maybe if I had glued it behind the photo and then scuffed it up, I would have an easier time doing that. But I switched distress tools, and this is the distress tool that you can get over at Some Assemblage Required. And I really like this one. It's great. It's a lot sharper than the Tim Holtz one, so that makes it a lot easier to handle. Also, since it's a larger tool, if you have soreness in your hands, you can actually handle it a lot better. So I decided kind of on the spur of the moment to go ahead and do some stenciling, and I'm not going to stencil all over the paper, and it's going to be very subtle because I'm using the Forest Moss Distress Oxide ink to distress. This is a Vicki Boutin stencil. I believe it is from the Bold and Bright. I opened it up to stencil on this layout, so this is the first time that I have used it, and I'm just running off to the side to grab another felt pad because the one that I used broke. Newsflash, don't buy cheap rounds for your distress tool handles because they fall apart. They just do not stay together well. I was very frustrated by that, and I think that's actually the second one that I've put on this particular ink pad. I think it happened in another video recently with the same color. So I've got that little bit of stenciling on my layout. I'm quite happy with the way that looks. I'm going to go ahead and lay out these photos again, just the way that I had them before. I also grabbed some of the little ticket pieces that I got in my 49er Market mystery boxes. Also, some friends and I actually got together and we split up our tickets so that we would each have only a little bit of them, but also have a whole lot of colors. So I pulled out these green ones, and I'm going to be layering those up along with the other things that I showed you at the beginning of the video. This just gives me a few more layers. It uses up those little stamps. They're the right color for this layout. I'm not sure what collection they were meant to go with, but I decided it didn't really matter. I'm going to use them wherever I can for layering. So I have that piece of text there that has Christmas at the top, and I wanted to make sure that the word Christmas can be seen, so I layered it up underneath that top photo. I have the one that is some music notes and a phrase from a Christmas song, and I'm putting it under the bottom photo in a manner that you can see both the words and the Christmas notes. Now I'm just layering up these leafy bits, and I'm going to be done with this layout pretty quickly. So here is my partial title. Again, it says Merry and Bright, and I took that from a branding strip. It does bring in a gold color, and that's fine because it helps make it stand out very well on this layout. You can definitely see the title very well. So I've pulled off the wood grain word that says Christmas. I'm going to tuck that Merry and Bright up at the top of it, and now I'm going to begin layering up more of the leafy bits. Jasper got tired and he left, and now he's going to try to sit right in the middle of my layout. I'm going to move him. He was very offended by this, by the way. He was not happy that I didn't allow him to stay there. I love these prancing wood veneer reindeer. I'm thinking that those came from the dollar store, and I just keep them in that little clear box that I showed you at the beginning of the video in my Christmas stuff. There are some pine cones and some poinsettias in this Christmas collection, and I really like having the bright colors to add to this layout. It kind of helps the different embellishment clusters stand out. I added one of the stamps behind the title at the beginning with that poinsettia, and now I'm just kind of doubling up some more poinsettias, and I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out.
All right, I got this layout completely done. I went ahead and I used some Distress Spray stain. This is antiqued bronze, and did some splatters. I think you can kind of see them. I kind of kept to the title area and the embellishment clusters, skipping all of the photo area, but I like to do that because it helps draw your eyes to the clusters. I did a lot of layering, a little bit of foam adhesive in various places, and I did go ahead and add another set of those postage stamps off camera because I had a gap there that I didn't really like, and you know, I've got a ton of those postage stamps from those 49 Market mystery boxes that I bought. I might have bought 3 of those. So I have a lot of those postage stamp stuff that they had in those boxes. This is what I'm talking about, these here. So I want to make sure I start using those up pretty quick. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. Without your help, I could not build this channel, and I'm very grateful to you. If you have any comments or questions about this layout or any technique that you saw me do in this layout, just drop those below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Now that I'm back home, I have more access to my YouTube studio and stuff. It's kind of a little harder when you're traveling. Wi-Fi wasn't always great where we were, so I couldn't pay as much attention to my channel as I had thought I would be able to while gone, but I'm back. And so if you have any comments or questions, just drop those below. Thank you again for being here. If you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe. That button is down below. There is also a bell down there. That bell will tell YouTube to notify you when I put out new content. My goal is 2 to 3 videos per week. It might be a little short on that this week. We'll see how much I get done because I've got design team projects due for Tracy Reed Designs. She's dropping a brand new Christmas collection at the end of the week, and I've got some stuff I need to get done for that, and we'll have a YouTube hop, so that will be, I believe Friday is the YouTube hop. Thank you again for being here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.